Welcome to the Empowered with Erika podcast. My name is Erika FB, and I'm an empowerment coach, mindset mentor, personal development enthusiast, and holistic health advocate. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you are looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story and to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Hello, and welcome to the Empowered with Erika podcast. Your host, Erika here, and I am very excited to get into today's episode where we are going to talk all about lucky girl syndrome. Who here has heard of this? I did not until recently. I actually heard about it on another podcast that is one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, and to be honest, their conversation got me a little fired up, so I was like, I need to bring this to the pod. We got to talk about it because, oh my fuck, that was kind of where my mind was, if I'm being honest. So what is lucky girl syndrome? Lucky girl syndrome is essentially, or like what people are calling it online, right? Apparently this is all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over whatever social media, okay? Lucky girl syndrome is the concept that I have all this luck because I tell myself that I am lucky. I act like I am the luckiest person in the world, and thus I am lucky, okay? So where I heard about this on one of my favorite podcasts, and they were sharing two TikToks. I'm not on TikTok any longer, so I did not see them myself, but I heard the audios. And essentially, the first TikTok was like, I am the luckiest girl ever. And why? Because I have lucky girl syndrome. I act like I'm the luckiest person ever. And since I started doing that years ago, I now have so much luck. If you do this too, it will change your life. Okay? That was like a synopsis of TikTok 1. TikTok 2 was this rebuttal that was like, oh my gosh, you are so privileged. Like, this is bullshit. Like, this is such a negative message to spread, which I think is so funny. Like, you're calling a TikTok about being lucky negative. Like, okay, let's sit down and fucking relax, shall we? As you can tell, I very much disagree with this rebuttal, but this rebuttal was like, this is so toxic positivity. This is because of privilege. Like, this is a harmful message to spread. You're going to harm others by spreading this message. And let me tell you, I just shook my head and I was like, oh, Lord. Seriously? Seriously. And that's when I knew that I needed to talk about this, right? And I do agree partially with certain aspects that the podcast I listened to had brought up and that I'm going to bring up, and that this woman brought up. So toxic positivity. Does toxic positivity exist? Sure. I'll say that it exists. I think people overuse the term personally, but do I think it's toxic sometimes to only be positive and to not allow yourself to feel the fullness of emotions in life? Yeah, I think that is negative, actually. I think it's very important to allow yourself to feel the good, the bad, the ugly. So in that way, positivity can be toxic at times, because sometimes if you're just being positive to cover up the shit that you need to work through, that is not a good thing. That is not a healthy thing. Do I think that lucky girl syndrome is toxic? No, I do not. And I think it's ridiculous that someone would even say that, to be quite honest. I'm like, how did we get here? And I'll tell you how I think we got here, because people have very limited mindsets. People have scarcity mindsets, and this fires me up, because you want to know what this girl was talking about? Lucky girl syndrome, another name for that is the universal law called the law of assumption. So in the course that I'm doing right now that I've referenced a couple times, I am learning all the universal laws, and I still don't have them down pat. There are so many, guys, like literally so many laws. So I don't have them all down pat. But basically, the law of assumption is that if you assume something, if you truly embody and assume something, it will become your reality. So actually, this girl acting like she is the luckiest girl in the world, no fucking wonder she has great luck. She is literally using the law of assumption to manifest things into her life. And you might be going, oh geez, Erika, you are getting woo-woo on me. seriously, woman? And I'm like, yes, seriously, look it up. But also, I have seen this happen in my own life. When you assume that something is true, good or bad, it happens. It fucking happens. So, lucky girl syndrome, all lucky girl syndrome is the law of assumption. So, when you assume something's going to happen, you will make it happen in reality. So, this can be a good thing, this can be a bad thing. For example, if you assume that, let's see. Okay, so here's an example. Genuinely, I don't know if this is under the law of assumption, but I think it's more law of assumption versus law of attraction, which is slightly different. When I was looking for a job, right, I was like, I know I am deserving of and worthy of a job that pays me what I think is a good wage, that gives me the freedom and the flexibility that I desire. I know that's out there. I don't know where it is, but I know that there is a job that is going to give me the lifestyle I want and give me the income I want, and that will allow me to leave my current situation. And guess what? I found one and I got it. Right? I assumed that I was worthy of more and that I was worthy of leveling up in my life. And I knew it in my fucking soul. I knew it. I assumed it was going to happen and I let go of the how. And I was like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. And it fucking did. So this lucky girl syndrome is actually just an amazing example of manifestation and the law of assumption. And if you assume that you have the best luck in the world, then guess what? You are going to start seeing that happen in your life. And I've heard a couple different people talk about that with the new year, new year, new me, new mindset, blah, 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 whatever. So I heard a lot of people have this concept of very similar to lucky girl syndrome of be delusional, live into the delusion. Whatever you think you can, like, whatever you think you can do, you can make happen. And I preach that too, right? But I just don't put it in this concept, in those terms of like live delusionally. But it's the same fucking shit, people. It is the same thing. The law of assumption, which is a law of like one of these like natural laws, right? Universal laws. Thank you. I like completely blanked on the word. We love that, don't we? It's great for podcasting, is it not? Shitting on myself slightly here. So, law of assumption is literally just assuming that something is going to happen and then it becomes your reality because your mindset is extremely powerful. Have you ever noticed that truly like your experiences in this world is just like your consciousness? I'm going to pull it up because I just saw the best thing. I did a little bit of research before this episode to make sure that I was saying the right shit. So Neville Goddard teaches that nothing exists outside of your own consciousness, and your entire experience of the world is simply a projection of your internal consciousness. And how true is that? Right? So the law of assumption is used to manifest your desires, is to assume that the feeling of your wish is being fulfilled, right? So if I assume that my desire is going to be fulfilled, it will happen. That is the law of assumption. So truly, and this is something I'm learning in my course, this is something I've learned in many different areas of life, that if you want to change your life, you need to change the assumptions you hold about your life and about the world. So one reason I say this a lot, I'm like, oh, I manifested Kyle. I did. Want to know how I manifested Kyle? Because I assumed that I would find a man out there who would love me for me, who think I'm hot as fuck, who doesn't like shit on my ideas, who loves me for me and respects me and takes care of me and is good for me. I assumed that that would happen. I assumed that if I had standards, I would make that happen. And guess what? It fucking happened, and it's a cool and beautiful thing. Just like I assumed that I would get a job that would pay me what I wanted to be paid, that would pay me better, that would give me the lifestyle I want. I made those assumptions, and those assumptions became my reality because I changed how I viewed the world. So, this is where I get fired up here, people. We need to cut the shit with this like limited, shitty victim mindset. Okay? Because let me tell you right now, and I know I'm a white lady, I know I have a certain level of privilege in this society, and I am not at all, I'm not negating that. Okay? I understand that inherently some people are more privileged than others, but also let me tell you this right now. No matter what race, religion, sexuality, gender, whatever, No matter what you are, you can create a life that you desire. You can make your realities happen if you believe you can make it happen. I think that is one of the biggest problems we have in our society right now. And this might get political, this might piss some people off, but I don't fucking care. Is we are selling people over and over and over this victim mindset. Stop making yourself a fucking victim. Stop it. Like, I do not understand why so many people let others tell them that they are a victim. Because to be honest, when people tell me, "Oh, Erika, but this happened in your childhood, and this happened in your childhood, and this happened in your childhood, so in theory, you should have had this, or this happen," I say, "Fuck that." Fuck that. I just because I have childhood trauma does not mean I'm not going to live up to my fullest fucking potential. Just because this disease or this addiction or what the fuck ever runs in my family does not mean that I am going to let that affect me, because I am saying no. I am assuming that my life is going to be better than that. I am assuming that I'm going to create a reality that I desire. So sometimes when I get down on myself and I'm like, oh God, fuck, why am I going? Why do I keep going? Why do I keep pushing? Why do I keep trying? Why am I, Erika, why are you building a business? You're never going to do that. You're never going to make that money. You're never going to do this. Shut up. Yes, I am. Why? Because I know in my heart, in my soul, that I am going to do it. So pretty much whenever anyone tells me I can't do something, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Watch me. Okay? And that's because that's the law of assumption. I am assuming that I'm going to make something happen, and I don't need to know how. That's the beautiful thing about the manifestation process and the universe is you can let go of the how, the universe takes care of it. Let me tell you this right now. A great example. I do not remember if I've talked about this on the podcast, but here we go. Let's dive in. Shall we? Great. Cool. As you can tell, I'm very fired up because this topic, it grinds my gears so fucking much. But I did this course, right? Or I started this course. I'm about halfway through this course. I am loving it. It was an investment, and it was a scary investment for me. I was like, oh God, like, ooh, should I? I don't know. And then I said, fuck it. Why? Because I was like, realistically, I can afford it. I can make it happen. I can make it work. Maybe I'm going to have to do an extra AT job here or there. Maybe I'm going to have to do this, or this. Because it was right before the holiday season. I'm like, oh God, should I really spend this right now? Maybe not. But I knew in my soul, in my gut, that I had the capacity to earn the money to go. Or to make it happen. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. I had the capacity to make the money for the course. And I was like, whether it's from my paycheck, whether it's from a side job, what the fuck ever, I'm going to make it happen because I know that I can. Okay? Cool. So I put it out there in the universe. I assumed that I would find the money to invest in this course. So I was like, great, cool, here we go. Pay in full. I've got this covered. I will make it work. I believe in myself and my capabilities. Guess what fucking happened? I then got a bonus at the end of the year from my job, which I was shocked at, right? I had been there like fucking 3.5 months. I was like, what do you mean I get a Christmas bonus? What? It was like $200 more than what the course cost. So thank you, universe. Was I expecting that bonus? No, that was just a great example of manifestation. I assumed that I would get the money in one way, shape, or form. I let go of the how. I was like, I know I'm going to make it happen. I know I'm going to make it work. So here we are. And now I do want to say, let's not be completely stupid and financially irresponsible. I was not being financially irresponsible in this moment. I knew I could pay it, right? But I didn't even have to work a ton of extra jobs to pay it because the money came. Because I knew and I assumed, and then the universe fucking provided. And all of you people can be like, oh, Erika, like, no, that's ridiculous. No, that is how the universe works. If you make room for it, things happen. If you believe and if you make room, you got to make room for shit to appear. So I'm sorry, but I'm sick of hearing that, oh, you're privileged. Oh, this, oh, that. Like, you can't make that happen. Like, that's toxic. Like, don't spread this mindset. Like, basically, anyone who has like a not limited mindset, basically, anyone who believes that they can do more, be more, have more is shit on. And we need to like stop doing that. What is the problem with wanting more for your life? Tell me, fucking tell me right now. What is the problem? There is no problem. Just because you can't get out of your own fucking head doesn't mean that there's a problem with it. And again, I understand that in society, there are biases, there are privileges. I know that, but also I think it's really fucking insulting to tell various groups of people that you are less than someone else by saying, oh, you are the victim in this situation. Like, if I was them, I'd be like, fuck you and watch me. That's how I would handle it because that's how I've been handling it in my life. When someone tells me, you can't move, you can't do this, you can't do that, you come from this background, you come from this situation, I literally say, well, I don't drink anymore, but I would say, hold my beer. So hold my fucking Starbucks, will ya, while I go get this shit done and prove you wrong? Because I know it's going to happen for me. Like, sit down, Carol, and call it a day. I'm sorry to all my Carols out there. I do have some friends named Carol. I love you all dearly, but it's just a good name for that expression. But do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, how are we as a society literally shitting on this girl who's just like, I act like I am lucky and thus I am lucky? Why are we shitting on her? Why are we shitting on her having a positive, good mindset? Why? Why? I don't understand. It's like, we don't need to dissect everything. If the girl wants to think that she's the luckiest bitch on the planet, good on her. Good for her. I love that for her. Keep going, man. Keep fucking going. And if you, not you specifically, but if the general you population out there wants to have a limited mindset, get ready to have more fucking limitations in your life. So it's actually very funny, right? This person who's like, oh my God, you're privileged. This is dangerous, blah, blah, blah. If you assume that you are a victim, you're going to keep yourself as the victim. Okay? Mic fucking drop. If you assume that you are limited, you are going to keep seeing limitations in your life. If you assume that the world is your fucking oyster, that you have no limits, guess what? That's what's going to happen because that is how the universal laws work. And I have seen it happen over and over and over and over and over again. Just like they say with healing, with trauma healing, with therapy, with all this shit. If you assume that something is going to happen enough, you are going to make it reality. So here's a great example that maybe is more applicable to more people. If I assume that no one is ever going to truly love me for me, right? Like, let's just say and this is something I have struggled with in the past. I've worked through it a lot, but I've struggled with it in the past. If I assume that I am unlovable, that I am unworthy of love, I am probably not going to choose the right people, not going to choose the right partners, and I'm going to choose people that literally do not give a fuck about me, which is what I did up until Kyle. Okay? That's what I did. Because I inherently felt unworthy of love. I felt like I, as a person, as an individual, was not lovable because this is the story that I had told myself my whole life because of, honestly, things people had said to me, things that had happened in my childhood. I was like, well, if this person did this, that means I'm not lovable, which is fucking stupid and bullshit. But that is the mentality I had for years and years and years. And it's something I'm still working through. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to act like I'm high and mighty on this fucking pedestal. I'm not. I am not. Nowhere near it. But I'm telling you guys right now that if you assume the negative, expect more negative. If you assume the positive, assume more positive. So if you are someone that's like, oh my God, like this is so toxic, I really, really, really encourage you to take a look in the mirror, okay? And think, what negative things are in my head all the time and how do they come up in my life? Because you are probably part of the reason it's fucking happening. This is something no one likes anymore, which is like this concept of personal responsibility and accountability. And let me tell you right now, we're going to talk about it because this is another rant, Erika rant. If you've been on my Instagram for a while, you know I used to do a lot of Erika rants. We're kind of bringing them to the podcast a little bit. We're kind of bringing them back a little bit because, apparently it resonates with you. But here is the thing, my friends. Here is the thing. Personal responsibility and personal accountability is extremely important. Let's stop putting the shitty decisions we make on other people. Stop blaming everyone else. Stop blaming all these external factors and start blaming your fucking self. Okay? And it sounds harsh, but it's the harsh truth. It is the harsh truth. And that is something I've learned from therapy, something I've learned from ACOA. Like, we need to take responsibility and accountability for our own actions and reactions. Okay? So I could not help certain things that happen in my life. Okay? I could not help that they happened. Like I say often, Life happens for you, not to you. So are you going to use these things to help better yourself? Are you going to use it for you? Are you going to have a victim mindset and be like, "Oh, this shit happened to me"? Which mindset are you going to go through in life with? I really, really, really recommend that you have a life happens for me mindset. I am not a fucking victim and I will rise above whatever shit life throws at me. I recommend that because it is a game changer. I say that a lot on this podcast, but it's true. But also, I really think that something we as a society are struggling with is so many people putting themselves in this victim fucking mindset box. You're not a victim, okay? You're not. You're not. We all have shit. We all have our own shit. I have a lot of shit. My shit to some people would be a lot. My shit to other people would be like, oh, that's it? That's all you've had to deal with? Because we all have different life experiences. All of us, every single one of us. We have different things. Some of us grew up in abusive households. Some of us did not. Some of us grew up with alcoholics or addicts as parents. Some of us did not. Some of us grew up with a disability. Others did not. Some of us, school was super easy. Others, it was fucking difficult. Like, whatever the case may fucking be, it is what it is. Are you going to use it as this victim mentality for the rest of your fucking life, or are you going to take personal ownership and responsibility for your actions? Okay? I am so fucking tired. I am. I'll tell you right now, Erika rant. I am so tired of the lack of accountability that people do not like. People don't take accountability for their shit anymore. It's always, this person did this to me and this happened and this happened, and like, oh, fuck me, I'm a victim. You know what? Get over yourself. We all have our own shit. And I'm sorry if that's harsh. And I'm not speaking directly at you specifically. Maybe you don't struggle with any of this and you're like, Erika, preach. Or maybe this is a punch in the stomach and you're like, oh, fuck, Erika, you're being kind of a bitch right now. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, but it's with love. I mean all of this with love. And here's the thing, guys, I have been there. I have been the person that has the victim mindset. I have been. And do you know how empowering it is to take your life in your own fucking hands and to be like, oh, wait, actually, I can have ownership of my life and of my reality. So I'm going to do that. It is fucking powerful because I could make all the excuses in the world. I know everyone can make excuses, but I could be like, well, guess what? I lost half my family at 10 years old and it fucked me up and I have abandonment issues. And then I drank to numb my feelings and I made a lot of stupid fucking decisions and this and that and this and that and this and that. And I had this happen and this person hurt me and this person hurt me and this assault happened and this almost assault happened and then this and then this and then this and then this and blah, blah, fucking blah. I could say that all day long. Do you want to play that game? Let's fucking play that game, shall we? But what am I doing? I am choosing to be like, okay, did that happen? Yeah. Did it fucking suck? Yeah, it did. But am I using it to define my life for the rest of my life? No. And I think this is something in the personal development space, in the healing space, and I've been there. I've I've been someone that I think has done this in the past, so this is me calling myself out. It's like it's very important to work through your trauma, right? It's very important. But do not use it to make yourself a victim and to keep yourself small. You know, I could play that game all day fucking long. I really could. But I'm not. I could play that I'm a victim game all day fucking long, but I am not. And honestly, actually, something I have been working through is the anger and resentment I have towards people that have hurt me. And especially, it's interesting. As much as I love ACOA, it has been very beneficial for me in a lot of ways. The one thing that's been really hard, not one, but one of the things that has been very difficult through that program is realizing how dysfunctional other people in my family are that I didn't necessarily think were, and realizing how much shit I have from that, and realizing how much things that were said, things that were done, how much that impacted me as a child and as a young adult, and how I am now having to unlearn all these things. A small example of that is my whole life, I've been told, you're too much, you're too sensitive, you're too emotional, you're too this, you're too fucking that, right? And this may sound kind of weird, but being told that my whole life, being, oh, you're so sensitive, Erika. Oh, your personality is too big. You're too much. You're kind of hard to love because you're just so much. One, who the fuck says that? That's terrible, but whatever. It was said multiple times by several people. Okay. So I'm not like pinpointing one person. This was said multiple times. And because of that, I never felt fucking good enough ever. 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 Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm now using it to my advantage. Because guess what? I am a lot. And I don't care. If you listen to this podcast, you've probably figured that out. You're like, oh, this bitch does have a big personality. Yeah, she says a lot of shit. Some of it I agree with it, some of it I don't. You know? But I don't care. You love it, you leave it, you take it, you don't. I don't give a shit. I'm here to speak what I have learned because these lessons have helped me. So getting back to this lucky girl mindset, let's, wrap a little fucking bow on this. Let's bring the car back around, shall we? It is all about law of assumption. And I actually think it's a very cool concept because honestly, and this is something the podcast host did talk about. I don't remember if I've said it already, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but it is basically gratitude. It's practicing gratitude every single day. I have a whole episode on gratitude. You guys know this. Go look up the Attitude of Gratitude episode. Gratitude is extremely important. It is very, very good for your mindset. There's research that fucking backs that up. So please tell me, random TikTok bitch, why is that bad? How is it toxic positivity to be grateful for the things that have happened in your life? How? How? I want to know. How? I really want to know, how is that a bad thing to like be grateful for the things that are happening in life and to assume the best and assume good? I think our society as a whole wants to instantly shit on other people, wants to instantly find the wrong in them. That's why so many people are like, oh yeah, that's toxic positivity, blah, blah, fucking blah. You're privileged, you pretty bitch. Like, one, who cares? Who cares what she looks like? She's got a great fucking point. One. Two, I actually have no idea what she looks like. That's just what the podcast people were saying, was like, oh, well, she is beautiful. So that's probably why. Like, there's pretty privilege, which, like, yes, there is. There are privileges in society. I am not denying that. What I'm saying is, are you going to use that to make yourself a victim? Or are you going to say, fuck the system, fuck the norm, I don't fucking care what y'all deem as privileged because I'm above that shit. Because that's what I'm doing. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't care about all these things. They do not affect me. Why? Because I don't let them affect me. That's really all it takes. As soon as you decide, I'm not a victim. I don't care what fucking any CNN, Fox News, whatever fucking news anchor or TikTok or influencer says this, that, or the other fucking thing. Stop making yourself a victim, okay? Stop, because when you do that, guys, and not only is it one, it's annoying. It's fucking annoying. No one wants to hear it. You're not a victim, okay? Like, pick yourself back up and let's get this shit done. Shall we? Great. I'm here. I will help you. I am an arm to hang on to. I've got like time. I will help you out, okay? You don't need to do it alone. I'm not saying that. We all have our things. But what I'm saying is, one, it's annoying. Two, it is such a shitty way to live. Like basically you're saying, I'm going to stay in this victim mindset. You having a positive mindset is a bad thing. So now I'm going to continue saying negative things, thinking negative ways, and I'm going to go try to find the bad in everyone, in the negative in everyone. And like, shut the fuck up. No one cares. Honestly, stop it. Get over yourself. Okay? Truly get over it. We all have our stuff. And are you going to let yourself be a victim to your circumstances for the rest of your fucking life? Or are you going to stop giving them so much fucking power? Because that's the thing. When you allow yourself to be a victim to all these things, you're giving your power away. You're giving your sovereignty away. And fuck that. Fuck that, guys. Honestly. I could say, I'm the daughter of this, and I have this, and I have this, and I could just name all the fucking things that make me a fucking victim. But guess what? I don't want to. I don't want to, because I am not defined by that shit. I'm not defined by the things that happened to me. Did they shape me? Yes. Did they affect me? Yes. Do I acknowledge that? Yes, but I am not giving them that much fucking power over my life and over my future. So when you choose to have this negative bullshit shitty fucking mindset, that's what you're doing, is you are just giving away your power for fucking free. Here you go. Take it, take it, take it. Fuck that. Fuck that. Oh my God. I do not know how many times I have to say that. And for all of you who hate when I cuss, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not. I did get that feedback from someone and I'm like, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm not. Turn it off if you don't want to listen. I don't know. This is how I express myself. I don't care. And here's the thing, guys. It is a beautiful thing to use the law of assumption for good in your life. So maybe you don't necessarily want to live delusional, but you can assume that good things are going to happen to you, because when you do, they do happen. It's kind of like, and I don't know if I actually fully said this, because honestly, if you can't tell, this has very much been a rant for me. I am very fired up right now and I need to like reel myself back in. So I apologize. I really do. But I also don't, because I think it's an important message. Okay. That being said, if you choose to use the law of assumption for negative and for the bad, if you just assume that no one's ever going to love you, that you're never going to get a good enough job, if you assume that you're always going to be financially struggling, you're never going to be able to own a house, this, that, like, what a sad way to live. What a sad way to live, guys. You deserve better than that. You deserve more than that. I believe that you can do anything you want to, but you have to believe it. You have to believe it. So if you want to go to nursing school, fuck what anyone says and go get your ass into nursing school. If you want to travel the world, fucking figure it out and travel the world. You have one life. If you want to go buy 30 acres in the middle of nowhere and go off grid, fucking do it. You can find a way. If you assume that there's a way that it can happen, the universe will bring that way to you. That is how these universal laws work. And again, I've seen them happen time and time and time again. And sometimes it's not just like, oh, here's a random bonus check. Sometimes, like, especially on the negative end, if you assume, kind of like I was saying earlier, like if I assume that I am unlovable, I am going to continuously surround myself with people that do not actually love me, that treat me like shit. Why? Because that's all I assume I am worthy of. So then I am bringing that into my aura. If I assume that I am worthy of love and I'm worthy of respect, guess what? I naturally repel the people that do not respect me and do not love me for me. That is what happens. So to dial this in, guys, if you want to talk about it in Lucky Girl Syndrome or whatever, go for it. I don't care what name it is. But I really think it's a beautiful fucking thing to, one, practice gratitude for the good things that happen in life, and two, to not limit yourself. You are limitless. We are all limitless. All of us, every single one of us, me, you, your fucking neighbor, whatever. The person driving next to you while you're listening to this in your car and you're like, oh geez, Erica's really going off right now. Whew, she needs to chill, lay off the espresso, lady. Yeah, I probably need to go for a walk or something after this, because I'm like, whew, all fired up. But we all can use the law of assumption for good in our lives, and we all can create the life that we desire. Every single fucking one of us. First of all, and at the root of this, we're going to go there because I just thought of this, so here we go. First of all, you need to assume that you are even worthy of it. I can bet you right now the person that said that rebuttal video doesn't believe that she is good enough to even have the things that she desires. Because people who do not believe that they deserve the good things, that they deserve the luck, are going to be the ones that respond to it that way. Right? Like if you immediately gut punch, you're like, oh, Erika, you're kind of being a total bitch to me right now. One, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be. But if you're like, Erika, like, whew, I kind of get it though. My first gut reaction was, oh, she's being privileged. Oh, she's being ridiculous. Oh, this is toxic positivity. If that was your gut reaction, I really, really, really encourage you to think, why? Why is it that you think that way? Why is someone believing that good things are coming to their life? Why do you think that's a negative thing? I really am curious. And a lot of times it's because it is a mirror. Seeing someone else live that way is a mirror. And if you do not believe that you are worthy and deserving of all those good things, it's going to instantly be like, oh, fuck that. It's going to be a turnoff. It's going to be like, oh no, that can't happen for me. And that's the mindset we need to get rid of. I truly believe like some crazy shit that I can accomplish. And I do not know how I'm going to get there. I just know in my soul that it is going to happen. I do. I know it. Just like I knew that I needed to invest in that course, and it has already changed my life, and I'm just about halfway through, and I still have so much more to go. Right? And it has already changed my life. And I knew in my soul that I needed it and that I could do it and that it was going to benefit me. Just like I know in my soul that these things that I desire are going to happen. I know it. I just know it. And I can't explain to you why, but I just do. And that is part of embodiment with manifestation. If you truly, truly, truly believe that you can do something, that you believe in yourself, that you can be something, it will happen for you. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in your potential, and you have to know that you are worthy and deserving of it. So this is my reminder to you. If you're someone, again, that had that like gut instinct of like, oh fuck, like, yeah, that wasn't good, I didn't feel good about that, Erika, like, I really don't like that, I think that's lucky girl syndrome, like, I don't know how I feel about that, I encourage you to look like, why? What is this reflecting back to me? Like, why am I having that reaction? Is it because I don't think I would be worthy of the good luck? I don't know. I can't speak for you. I don't know. But I'm just telling you right now, like, the victim mindset is so 2020. Like, we are beyond that. Let's move on, shall we? And like, live an empowered version of ourselves. Because again, this is the Empowered with Erika podcast. We are focusing on living an empowered life, and a victim mindset will not get you there. I promise you right now, there's no way to live an empowered life while staying in a victim mindset, because you are literally giving your power away when you do that. So let's say, fuck that. And let's go into this upcoming weekend, if you're listening to it the day it releases on Thursdays. Let's just remember that we can make anything we want happen. We have so much power within ourselves. You just have to believe. And it sounds corny, but it's really fucking true. And look up the law of assumption. I think I'm going to start sharing more of the universal laws because they're really cool and they're really powerful, and I'm very obsessed with them. But with that being said, thank you for listening to another Erika rant. I apologize for how fired up I got, but also not really, because I hope it got the point across. And if I offended you, reach out. Let's have a conversation, because none of what I said, let me caveat, none of what I said was meant to be offensive or mean. It is just sometimes the truth is a tough pill to swallow. And sometimes it sounds a little harsh. But here we are. It is all meant with love. Okay? So I love you all. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Do not forget to stay empowered, and I will talk to you guys next week. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of our community. Don't forget to check the show notes for the resources I shared in today's episode, and of course to connect with me on social. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at erika.vishkalis. You can also find me on Facebook at Erika Vishkalis. If you want to be a part of our online community, check out our Facebook group, Empowered with Erika. You can also find all of our offers and community links at empoweredwitherika.com. I always love hearing from you, so don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tag me with your biggest takeaways from today's episode. Let me know what you loved and what you want to hear more about, and share it with someone who you think would love it too. I cannot wait to share more with you. I will see you next week, and don't forget to stay empowered.